Okay, so this is the first question of day. Which is the highest peacetime gallantry award in India? The highest peacetime gallantry award in India: Kirti Chakra, Ashok Chakra, Shaurya Chakra, or Veer Chakra? So you have a few handful of gallantry awards, right? So when you talk about the overall gallantry awards, the biggest is Paramveer Chakra. But when it comes to peacetime gallantry awards, which one is the highest peacetime gallantry award? Is it Kirti Chakra, Ashok Chakra, Shaurya Chakra, or Veer Chakra? Yes, Ashok Chakra is the right answer, and a good percentage of you got this one correct, right? Ashok Chakra is the highest peacetime gallantry award, right? So you have Paramveer Chakra, Mahavir Chakra, and Veer Chakra, and here you have Ashok Chakra, Kirti Chakra, Shaurya Chakra. These are peacetime awards, and Ashok Chakra is the highest peacetime gallantry award. All right. Okay, so yes, all of you got this one correct. Let's see the next question. Which year was named as the International Women's Year by the United Nations? International Women's Year, in which year was it observed as International Women's Year? And the same year, since that year, 8th March, they started celebrating International Women's Day as well. Okay, so the entire year was celebrated as International Women's Year, which was that year 1975, 1978, 1982, or 1986. Which year was that? Okay, so not many of you getting this one correct, right? The year was 1975. Okay, most of you answering C or D. Actually, it was 1975. Okay, that was observed as the International Women's Year uh, by UN, 1975. Okay, so let's proceed to the next question. Who is the current Chief Justice of India? Ranjan Gogoi, Sharad Arvind Bobde, Deepak Mishra, or Jagdish Singh Kehar? Current CJI. Is the app hanging or is it working fine? Because from my end, I don't know what's happening from in my preview. But I've just started the poll. So is the current Chief Justice of India? He has been the Chief Justice since November 2019, and these have been the recent Chief Justices, the other ones as well, right? So yes, it's Sharad Bobde, right? He he was preceded by Ranjan Gogoi, right? Before that, it was Deepak Mishra. Okay, so Sharad Bobde is the recent one. All right. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Which of the following days is matched incorrectly? Okay, so in the four options you have 4 days and you have to tell that which of the days is matched incorrectly, right? So you have World Consumer Rights Day 15th March, World Red Cross Day 8th May, World Literacy Day 8th September, World Teachers Day 5 September. Okay, so Sandeep, I'd say it is very difficult to get 100 in GK. I mean, because GK is so wide that you cannot cover. I mean, you cannot expect things, right? What they might ask, right? Yes, you can always, if you are well prepared, if you have done a lot of static stuff, right, and do cover the current affairs as well, you might be able to score like above 70. But getting a 1300 is very unlikely. Okay, because you know, never know, right? What thing might they might ask, right? They might ask the president or prime minister of any country which you might not be uh, aware of, right? Or any other random stuff, right? For example, take this recent exam MyCat. They asked about some circus, right? Who would know about that? Very few people would have answered it because of their knowledge. So very difficult to get 100, but definitely you can score 70 plus, right? And if you're lucky, maybe you might reach in 80s or 90s. Okay, so the right answer is option D. World Teachers Day is celebrated on 5th of October, right? So it's in India. It's in India that you celebrate Teachers Day on 5th of September, but World Teachers Day is celebrated on 5th of October. Okay, so the ones, yes, so India celebrated on 5th of September as a birth anniversary of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, but at a global stage, the World Teachers Day is on 5th of October, right? So other days are matched correctly, so you know the respective days, like Consumer Rights Day is on 15th of March, Red Cross Day is on 8th of May, World Literacy Day is on 8th of September. All right. Okay, so let's proceed to the next question and see what is it. Okay, so in October 2020, Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution passed away, Ramvilas Paswan. Okay, he was the president of which party? So Ramvilas Paswan was the president of which party? Okay, he passed away recently. Illness, and he was holding this office, Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, right? So he was the president of which of these parties? Rashtriya Janata Dal, Hindustani Awam Morcha, Lok Janshakti Party, or Samta Party? Something that you must know, current affairs, right? Easy question, and I expect you to know this. Yes, the correct answer is LJP, right? Lok Janshakti Party. So he was the founder and the president of this party, right? Uh, till the day he was alive, right? Okay. All right. So let's move to the next question. Which of these cricketers has not been inducted in the ICC Cricket Hall of Fame? Okay, which of these cricketers has not been inducted in the ICC Hall of Fame? Anil Kumble, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, or Virat Kohli? I have started the poll. ICC Hall of Fame. Okay, let's see what responses do you give. So Sunny and Shubham say Virat Kohli. Okay, all of you going for Virat Kohli. Why? Not inducted in Hall of Fame? Yes, that's correct. Virat Kohli has not been inducted into the ICC Hall of Fame. So the criteria is there must have been at least a gap of 5 years since the retirement of the player, right? So only those players are included who have retired from international cricket at least 5 years, right? So these are the players from India who have been inducted. So this list was announced in 2009. So in the first year, I mean, since these players had retired long back, so all these three were included. And then Anil Kumble got included in 2015. Dravid got included in 2018, and Sachin got included in 2019. Right. So Sachin retired post Rahul Dravid. Right. So he was included later. Okay, yes, only retired players are included, and those who have retired for at least 5 years. Okay, so Sachin got retired in 2013. He was inducted into this in 2019. Yes, so it's good that you know for about this. Okay, all right. So let's see this. How many of you know this answer? How many zones are there? Railway zones are there in India? How many railway zones are there in India? 19, 18, 17 or 16? 17, 18? How many? Okay, so different responses. There are 18. Currently, there are 18 zones. Okay, and okay, so you marked by mistake. You marked A. Okay, that's fine. Right, but in examination, don't do that. Okay, so there are 18 railway zones in India. Okay, I mean, I have not included that. Just read about them, their headquarters, etc. Okay, so sometimes you never know, right, what they might ask. So something that you must know about railways. Okay, 18 zones in India. Okay, let's move to the next question. Which was the best ranked Indian company in the Forbes World's Best Employers of 2020? Okay, so Forbes release, they keep releasing lists every year, so they had released the list of best employers 2020, right, in which Samsung topped, right, which we already discussed one day. Which was the Indian company that ranked the highest? HCL Technologies, Bajaj, Reliance Industries, or Aditya Birla Group? Which was the Indian company? Of course, it was not even in the top 20, but amongst the Indian companies, which was the topper? Yes, it was HCL, right? So HCL was ranked 30th. Okay, so HCL was ranked 30th. Then we had Bajaj at 78, Reliance is 82, Aditya Birla Group somewhere 144, right? So the top three companies were Samsung, Amazon, IBM. Okay, the Indian company was just not even in the top 20. So HCL was the top ranked Indian company. All right. What is the name of the first satellite to leave the solar system? First satellite, or you can call man-made object to leave the solar system. Ranger 1, Pioneer 1, Voyager 1 or Surveyor 1? And if you know which year as well, that would be great. Yes, poll is running, right? So people have answered that as well, right? So yes, the right answer is Voyager 1. Okay, so it was launched in 1977, right? It was launched in 1977, and it exit the solar system in 2012. Okay, so I mean it was in the solar system till then, and then became the first satellite to exit the solar system. Okay, all right. So yes, a good percentage of you got this one correct. So let's see the next question. Which Indian institute is popularly known as WIMV? Okay, which Indian institute is popularly known as WIMV? I'm Ahmedabad, IIT Bombay, AIMS Delhi, or NLSIU Bangalore. Which Indian institute is known as WIMV? And if you know the full form as well of this, you may tell the same. Okay, so not many people know this. Okay, so it's IIM Ahmedabad, right? IIM Ahmedabad is known as uh, a well-known institute of management in Western India. Okay, so it is known by that name, and there's a company also found by two IIM Ahmedabad alumni, Vimvi Foods. Okay, so it's IIM Ahmedabad, well-known institute of management in Western India. Okay, all right. Yes, Kajal, Himanshi, Raj, you answered it correctly. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. And if you are enjoying this session, don't forget to like this session. Okay, let's move to the next question. Which day is observed as the National Voters' Day? National Voters' Day. 30th of September, 12th of October, 25th of January, or 16th of August? National Voters' Day. When is it observed? It was observed, okay. Alright, so all of you saying in sync with 25th January. Yes, it is on 25th of January. Right, so this election commission of India was set up on this day. So for this, like to remember that day, it is observed as National Voters Day. Okay, so in 1950 or 51, election commission of India was set up. So that's why this day is observed as National Voters Day. So let's see the next question. Which of the following apps was the predecessor of the Arogya Setu app? So Arogya Setu app, many of you must have used that, right? So earlier it was some other app which the Indian government launched, and later it was replaced by Arogya Setu app. So what was that app which was initially launched by the government of India for COVID-19? Corona Guard, Corona Kavach, Corona Salah, or Corona Suraksha? Okay, that app did not survive for a long duration. Okay, and they had to come up with a better app with more security features and all, right? So that was of course Arogya Setu app, and it's still used. So initially, Indian government launched an app called Corona Kavach. Okay, and in March itself they had launched, and in April they got this Arogya Setu app. Okay. Alright, so let's move to the next question. During the tenure of the former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's cabinet, former President Pranav Mukherjee held the portfolio of Defense Minister, Finance Minister, External Affair Minister, or all of the above positions? Okay, so during the tenure of PM Manmohan Singh, which portfolio did the former President Pranab Mukherjee hold? Finance Minister. Okay, you must have seen him presenting the budgets. You must have seen him presenting the budgets. But let me tell you, he held all these designations. Okay, so during that tenure, he held all of these portfolios. Okay, so he was the finance minister as well. I mean, not simultaneously, of course, but he used to be the defense minister as well. He was the finance minister as well. He was the minister of external affairs also, right? So he held all these portfolio during that 10-year period. Okay, so Manmohan Singh was the prime minister from 2004 to 2014, right? So during this period, he held all these positions. Okay. Yes, yes. So some of you got this one right, all of the above. Okay, so generally you do not have such questions like all of the above, but yes, this in this case you have he had held all the positions. Okay, all right. So let's move to the next question. What is the capital of Jordan? Jordan is a country in the Middle East. What is its capital? Amman, Beirut, Muscat, or Nicosia? Capital of Jordan. Muscat? No, no, not Muscat. Okay, so all right. So mixed responses for this question. Quite interesting to see. Right. The right answer is Amman. Right. That is for Jordan. This is for Lebanon. Okay. This is Oman, and Nicosia is Cyprus. Okay. So you know four capitals. Yes, Muscat is Oman. Right, so you now you know four countries and capitals. Right, so know these capitals of these Middle East countries, some African countries, right? Countries of, I mean, in fact, they can ask you capital of any of the countries, right? Right, so they might ask. I mean, you don't know, right? Very random papers. Right, they ask country capitals of any of the countries. Okay. Alright, so let's move on to the next question. Thrissur Pooram is an annual Hindu festival celebrated in which of the following states? Thrissur Pooram is a festival of which of these states? Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, or Andhra Pradesh? So it's very rare to get, I mean, cent percent score in the GK section, but at least yes, if you are in touch with many of these static things, you know all the current affairs well. So yes, you can score like definitely if you get a score of 70 to 80%, that's a very good score. Okay. In CMAT also, if you see the toppers, right, the topper, all India topper must be scoring somewhere around 340, 350, right? Out of that 340, he or she must be scoring at least 260, 270 in the other three sections. right? If not more, right? That is the least score they get, because the paper is generally easy, right? So it is easy to score in quant, logical reasoning. English is also like the people who have good English may be able to score some good decent marks in those three sections, right? So then GK is the deciding factor. If you are able to cross like 60, 70 in GK, that serves as a deciding factor. Okay, the right answer is Kerala. Thrissur is a, I mean, you could have used this knowledge that Thrissur is a district in Kerala. Okay, that's a place in Kerala. So this festival is celebrated in Thrissur. Okay, somewhere around April, May. Alright, so let's move to the next question. Who is the author of the book Courage and Conviction? Okay, so some person from defense, as you can see from the options, right? So is it Bipin Rawat, Ajit Doval, GD Pakshi, or VK Singh? Courage and Conviction. TISSNET, I would say the cutoffs are generally like it again. It depends. It's more than 75, right? The other two sections are doable. People score really high in that, but at least you have to target around 25 in the GK section, right? So you can comfortably sail through. Okay, that again depends on the paper. Okay, the paper, the difficulty levels of paper. Okay, so what is who is the author of this book? Okay, let's see how many of you got this. 39% only. Yes, it is the autobiography of VK Singh. Okay, autobiography of VK Singh, Courage and Conviction. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next question. Current, not very current. Okay. But records, cricket records, right? Sports records. James Anderson became the first fast bowler to take 600 wickets in Test cricket. Against which team did he achieve this feat? West Indies, South Africa, New Zealand, or Pakistan? James Anderson, 600 wickets. Against which team did he complete the 600th wicket? West Indies, South Africa, New Zealand, or Pakistan? So the ones who watch cricket might have two options in their mind, because last year England played against two teams, right? So the right answer is Pakistan, of course, right? They did have a test series against West Indies as well, but he completed his feat in like against Pakistan. Okay, so Azhar Ali was the batsman who he dismissed as its 600th wicket, right? Okay, so first fast bowler to reach 600 wickets. The overall topper is of course Muthaiya Muralidharan, 800 wickets in Test cricket. Okay, so something from religion and mythology. I mean, not mythology; it is pure religion. Who was the second guru of the six? Guru Angad Dev, Guru Amar Das, Guru Ram Das, or Guru Gobind Singh? Yes, Ankur, you are right. The batsman was Azhar Ali, Pakistani captain. Second Guru of the six. So Punjabis in the house must be knowing this answer, must know. Right, let's see how many of the others also know about the Gurus of six. So they had 10 Gurus, right? Guru Nanak Dev was the first Guru. Who was the second? Alright, yes, Guru Angad Dev is the right answer. Right, so Guru Gobind Singh was the last one. Right, so here's the list. So Guru Nanak Dev, then Guru Angad Dev, Guru Amar Das, Ram Das, Arjan Dev, Har Govind, Har Rai, Har Kishan, Guru Tegh Bahadur, Guru Govind Singh. Okay, and then this thing stop post that. Okay. All right. So let's move to the next question and see that what it is on. Which of the following technologies is used by banks to process checks? Okay, so something from technologies. QRR, OMR, MICR or OCR? Technology used to process checks in banks. Let's see how many of you know the answer to this question. Okay, many of you sings MICR, some sing OCR also. Okay, Yash has given the full form as well. Yes, the right answer is MICR, magnetic ink character recognition. So if you see a check, right, so a check has a check number as well as a, right, it has a MICR number as well, right? So that machine reads the check and processes it, right? So magnetic ink character, the device is called character reader, or like if you talk about the technology, it is character recognition, right? Okay, so let's move to the next question. Which city is called the Diamond City of India? So popular name, you must be knowing the answer to this, and I expect most of you to answer this correctly. Ahmedabad, Surat, Jodhpur or Rajkot? Okay, very popular for this diamond cutting, right? So probably most of the diamond work is done in this particular city. Ahmedabad, Surat, Jodhpur or Rajkot? It's a common fact, and many of you should be knowing this. Yes, so the highest percentage of people getting it correct thus far, right? Their answer is Surat. Okay, very popular city for diamonds. Okay. All right, so in fact it is known for silk as well, right? Textile also, and diamond as well. Okay. All right, so let's see. With this, we are done with the questions of the day, and we have Shelly scoring uh, full full score, right? So Shelly, that's a great thing, right? All 20 correct. Then we have Neeraj at 180, Ashish 170, Ravi, Samir at 150. Then we have Sumant, Raj and Raj, Gangrade at 140, Somi at 140. Okay, so congratulations to all the high scorers. Okay. Alright, so that was the quiz for the day. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 p.m. Right, so we have it every day till these examinations. Okay, so keep preparing for these examinations and TISSNET. I mean, both these examinations are heavily relied on GK, because if you talk about the aptitude part, that is comparatively easy as compared to the other examinations. Right, so if you have prepared well for let's say CAT, ZAT, IFT and all, you should sail through in the other sections, but GK is the deciding factor. Okay, that definitely makes a lot of difference, because if you look at CMAT, right, if you look at the top scores around 325 plus or 330 plus, right, that is because of GK only, because in the other three sections you might get like 270 to 280, but you still need to stretch above. In fact, I mean that again depends. Like you need to score very high, and for that you need a great score in GK. And of course in TISSNET, that's the obvious case, because 40% of the paper is GK, so you have to score very good in GK to sail through. Okay. All right. So if you are preparing for CMAT and Maharashtra CT, Gradeup has got a course for you, a crash course which is running for these two examinations. Okay. And if you are starting your preparation for CAT 2021 and are looking to enroll at an early stage, which is always beneficial, you can enroll with Gradeup. And for your uh, we are running some offer at this time, right? Some February Mela, in which we have like 12-month and 18-month subscription that is being sold at a discounted price in the form of EMIs, right? So you do not have to pay all at once. You can pay in 3 installments and you get discount of that. In fact, the second installment is just 1 rupee. So technically you will be paying like once, and then the other installment 2 months later. Okay, so and also not only that, there are some lucky draws as well. There are some users who are winning prizes every day. So if you are lucky enough, you might get some prize like mobile phones and your Fitbits, etc. Okay, so that's secondary thing, but the prices are down these days, so you may go ahead and purchase the courses. All right. These are some of our students who did really well in CAT, and we will be bringing up more such names this year, right? So you have trust on us. We'll help you in the best possible manner, right, to deliver you the best results in CAT. And you already know our team, the mentors who have years of teaching experience, have scored heavily on CAT on multiple occasions. Okay, so that is the best thing about Gradeup, that you get such quality mentors at one platform. Okay. All right, so that's it for today's session. Thank you for attending the session. I'll be back tomorrow at 10. Okay. Yes, Padma Shri Awards. Yes, do read about the Padma Awards of 2021. Okay, so I'll try to include some questions of those as well. Right, do read about the Padma Awards. Okay, because the examination is going to be held in February. Okay, I mean after mid of February, so that should be something 1 month old news. So that is likely, that might be asked. Focusing on static or current, I would say that if you see the patterns, it is mostly static. Okay, although you cannot ignore current. Right, current affairs also plays an important role. There are certain things which generally they ask, like capitals, right, the firsts in India, okay, currencies, and then some national parks, books and authors, a lot of things. It's not just confined to one topic, like they might ask about geography, history, right? So the more you read, the more knowledge you build, that helps you, right? And this cannot be built in just one day, right? It's not that you just start reading, now it will build. No, it's something that has been built. People must have built it over a long duration of time, right? But if you are like keep brushing up these things, the things that we discuss, right, things related to that, like recent awards, obituaries, etc. So all in all, you would be able to score decent. As I said, that it's a matter of luck as well, right? There are some things which you might have read, very few others might have read, so you might get those questions right. Okay, so getting somewhere 70 to 80% in GK is considered a very good score. Okay. All right, so that's it for today's session. Thank you and have